Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a new release from the brand Seiko. Now this is part of the Presage range of watches. It's actually the Presage Classic, and Presage is basically Seiko's dress watch division, and it's a beautiful one, to be fair. You've got Prospex, that's more of a dive watch, and obviously, you know, this one is a pure dress watch. Its proper name is the Unglazed Uta, I believe that's pronounced, porcelain. The reason being, this does have a full-on porcelain dial on there, which does set the premium up somewhat. This one, the retail price actually of this one, I believe, is £1,650. But do remember, that is before any kind of discount. So, you know, you might be getting a lot less than that. It's only available at Seiko boutiques and first class watches, so this is not one you can find everywhere. But before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches for allowing me to review this piece. Lots of cool, interesting brands and models, some you may know, some you may not. So if you're in the Midlands area, I'd strongly recommend popping over to their showroom. If you're a little bit further afield, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description and at the bottom of the page now. Or I'll ask if you do contact them, please mention the channel. So let's talk. Well, actually, before I do, I must point out this is a limited edition piece. There's only 1,200 of these being made worldwide, so I can't picture them being around that long, but it's definitely a lovely looking watch. Sizes, we are talking a 40.7mm case size by a thickness of 12.7. The lug to lug is a very healthy 49mm, and the strap size on this one is 20mm. It definitely wears much larger than I would have thought. It definitely has some wrist presence, let's put it that way. But anyway, the dial is where it's all at, obviously, being porcelain. It's got this beautiful like guilloche style patterning here. It looks absolutely superb how they've done it. It really is a stunning dial. Porcelain dials are so hard to make. There is a really high failure rate due to like when they fire them to high temperatures to get them to set. If it's not quite perfect, they crack. And to be fair, they, you know, when they do come out, they look amazing. I'm surprised though when they do crack. I sometimes believe the Japanese, when they have porcelain which is crap, they kind of make they seal it together with like gold leaf and all that, and it looks amazing. I would love to see some of the failed dials actually make it onto the watches where they've been repaired, because they would never be the same. Not that these are the same anyway. Every so often you might see a little dimple or whatever on the dial, and that's part of the firing process, so they're always that little bit different. But let's face it, that dial is beautiful and elegant. You've got these gold applied hour markers on there, as to these amazing polished gold hands. They really do look very elegant and nice on this. Just the nice script up here, Seiko Presage automatic 3 days. So yeah, it definitely is a very, very pretty watch, even down to the chapter ring you have going round here. It's got a very, I think it really is quite a handsome looking dress watch, this one. As we come past that, we're greeted with a double domed sapphire crystal. It does look very good. It does have AR coating on there, but only on the inside, so just pick up a little bit of reflections, but it's not too bad, to be fair. As we come past that, we do have a, it is a scratch, sorry, not scratch magnet, but a kind of grease magnet, you know, off your fingers or whatever. It really does attract. The case itself is just polished. It's okay what they've done there. It's still, you can see little bits of unevenness on the actual sides there, but it still looks good nonetheless. I like the way, even though it's got a long lug to lug, these lugs do dive down, so it means it sits that little bit better on the wrist, to be fair. And they're polished the inside there as well, which is quite nice, because sometimes you see some companies would leave lines on there. But it's a way also it blends into that fixed bezel as well. The bezel, it looks like, does have some brushwork at the bottom there. And over on this side, we have the crown. Let's just see. It is a simple non-screw down crown, but I think this watch still features 100 meters of water resistance, which is very, very impressive considering this is a dress watch. The actual wind, nice and smooth, no problem there. And obviously, if we pull it out, it goes straight into hacking there. We do have a sign crown. I am surprised they went for a sign crown. I would have thought, in theory, this would have been better off without a sign crown, because this almost looks a little bit too sporty for for the rest of the dial. I could be wrong though, but that's, you know, I do think I would have liked to have seen an unsigned crown, maybe a bit more onion style on there to give it a little bit more kind of dress watch look. Obviously, there's no loom on this style at all. It is purely a dress watch. Now, as we flip this around, we do have on the back of here, we have the actual number, which one it is. But as we can see, we have a display case back of that movement. Now, the movement itself is the Seiko 6R51. So basically, I put this one on the time graphic. It was a little bit unsteady at first, but to be fair, it's fresh out the box, so I'll give it that. It was coming in around about plus 5 seconds. I did demag it because it was a little bit fluctuating a bit more than that at first. But after the demag, it seemed okay. It's a 24 dual movement with a whopping 72 hours of power reserve or thereabouts. So that's where your 3 days does actually come from. So overall, it's good. Now the strap is very, very polished. It's got a nice bit of padding to it. I like the kind of gold style actual loops they've got up here to match that dial. It gives it a little bit more kind of, you know, it just ties in that strap to that actual dial. It does work very, very well. And I say, it's got some nice padding to it. It really is quite padded. The only downside, it does squeak. Now, I'm not sure if that will, I've got a feeling that will wear down after a bit. You know, if it doesn't, another thing to do is like apply hand cream, leather moisturizer to the inside air, and that would probably get rid of it. Now, you do get this nice clasp here. If we zoom out a little bit, let me put this on my wrist so you've got an idea how it looks. To release this, you press this here, and then you can feed the strap through. Let's take a guess. Let's go ahead because I don't want to mark it. There we go. So we'll give that a try. I can never understand why these straps are this way round. To me, it just seems completely alien. Because I always think then you end up rubbing this against the inside of, you know, the side of your body as you go along. It does seem a tad bizarre. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing a Rolex OP39, and Bob has got an old Ventio Nico on there. So is what you call it. I haven't seen that one out for a bit. Now let's put this on. My wrist size is 7¼ inches. So that equates to around about 18.5 centimeters. Oh, well, that is a little bit too tight. Let's just release that one notch. Let's just take that off there. Now this watch does also come in quite a nice fancy little wooden box, which is quite a nice touch. Okay, there we go. That's it on the wrist. Now, see what I mean? It's quite a chunky boy, that one. That one, obviously, it's the leather at the moment. It's just on the side, but it is actually quite a sizable watch. I kind of like it, though. It's got a nice bit of presence on the wrist, I think. That dial is just so clean. There's something about it I do like. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, and I should have, I'm just thinking about it. The case itself has been hardened. So it says, I think they call it their super hardening or something. I don't know what that is. So the last time they used to do case hardening, I think it worked out to around about 500, 550 Vickers. So if anyone knows the true actual hardness of this, I would be quite impressed. So that means it should say should stay scratch free for quite some time. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you to it with that. But most importantly, stay safe. Look after yourself. Bye.